Hello everybody, thanks for coming by. I made a video a long time ago explaining Seal of Command in Classic, and to follow up on that, around the hype of Burning Crusade announcement, I felt the need to make a brand new video about Seal of Blood. And not just that, also explaining how Seal of Blood would perform for Alliance, as we got information by Blizzard that they're going to give up the spell to the other faction, including Seal of Vengeance for Horde. Now, it's not going to have the same name, instead it's going to be called Seal of the Martyr, so just be prepared for that in all case. Seal of Blood was an exclusive Horde Paladin spell and was tied up to their lore, as it represented the extent of which the Blood Elves would go in order to acquire power. Available at level 64 from Paladin trainers for Horde players, its counterpart Seal of the Martyr will be available at level 70 for Alliance and Seal of Vengeance for Horde also at level 70. Seal of Blood is pretty straightforward. Deals 35% of your normal weapon damage, and I'll emphasize onto that further in the video. 10% of that damage dealt to the target is returned back to you, which works nice with Spiritual Atonement. Same thing goes for the Judgment, but the damage return portion is higher. A good thing to mention is that the seal scales with holy damage from Judgment of the Crusade, but not from overall spell power. It is holy damage, so Vengeance, Sanctity, and overall percent damage increase effects do modify it, but physical percent increase do not. And again, I will emphasize onto that further along. Now, allow me to open up a topic for conversation over here. Now, you don't just make a seal video without talking about seal twisting, like that just comes with it. That's a thing that I learned from previous experiences. Now, seal twisting was a bug, let's just be honest with it. It was a bug which occurred and actually was a part of World of Warcraft from the beginning, but nobody picked it up because of, well, Reds and Paladins in general having a really bad coverage. Now, with that being said, seal twisting really came into fruition, dare I say, at the late stages of the Burning Crusade, specifically patch 2.3, as a bunch of Paladins just tinkering around, doing things as Red becoming more popular. They would only tinker around and see that, oh wow, we could, put two effects of a seal all together to get even more damage or, more utility, whatever these seals would do. But see, it's not really well documented. If you really think in retrospect, discovering a bug kind of pushes players away from, fully exploring that bug. And you didn't want to exploit that because exploiting bugs for the purpose of faster clearing, content could get you punished. So seal twisting at that stages is for its short time period of discovery, at the very least, that was just 2 patches, like what, 5-6 months of life? It literally died with the pre-patch of Wrath of the Lich King. So with that being said, it's not really well documented. But what we know for a fact is that the players, and we need to take their word for it until Blizzard says something about that, the players found out that Seal of Command with Seal of Blood twisting could actually proc one another. What this means is that if you have a Seal of Command active and right before you swing you would activate a Seal of Blood and you get a Seal of Command proc with Seal of Blood, you can proc the effects of Seal of Blood twice, because Seal of Command is till this day, even right now in WoW Classic and in future TBC, the only spell coded as a pure auto attack. Seal of Command procs everything into the game without any exceptions, as a Seal of Blood does not. So please tell me down below, what do you think? Do you think that this is actually going to happen with Red be broken just because of that seal twisting, being kept into the game? And yeah, just tell me everything that you feel about that. Let's talk about races in the Burning Crusade. They are not definitive for classes and specs as they were in vanilla. Some races still have an edge PvE-wise against others, but they do not restrict you from being optimal. If you ask me to rank them for Reds in PvE for Burning Crusade Classic, I would do it as such. Humans being the obvious first, just because of sword and mace specialization. Draenei just because they have racials that can be used to the raid's utility. Blood Elves for the mana back. And Dwarves are being last. They have nothing for Reds, but in fact, they are the best if you want to play a Protection Paladin due to Stone Skin. It's okay for us to have a conversation about private servers. Now, bear in mind, we need to have this, and the reason for that being is that we want to set each other with the right expectations. We don't want to be up in the clouds chasing dreams. We really wish to be on the ground looking at it as it actually is. Now, private servers are not the most accurate source for World of Warcraft. We've seen this happen right now, and for WoW Classic, thinking in retrospect, majority of the players were disappointed just because private servers were generally better. It felt better. And to cut the slack a little bit off these guys, they script things the way the tooltips say, and it makes entire sense for things to work like that, but truth of the matter is that, well, they're not meant to work. So let's just get into two bugs which are definitely going to take place. Not really two bugs necessarily for Blizzard, more like two bugs that are present at private servers that are really pumping red damage up. First and foremost, one of the more simpler bugs, and that is partial resisting. See, holy damage indeed is not a subject to holy resist because holy resists were deleted in the game early stages of vanilla. But see, whenever you're facing a target of level 73 plus or 63 plus, depending on the expansion, you are still a subject to holy resists. And when that happens, you're going to lose a fair portion of the holy damage just because of that mechanic taking place. So on the majority of the private servers, this is inexistent, and paladins are hitting their max numbers for one of these purposes. Second of all, we need to talk about vengeance. Vengeance is a really core thing that the paladins have, especially reds, but vengeance double dipping is also a thing that happens on private servers all the time. Then what is double dipping? See, to put it mildly, paladins work both with physical and holy damage. We know that, but they always go straight up forward and they never touch one another. They never talk with each other. They're always separate forever and ever. But on private servers, what happens is most of the damage, which is physical converted into holy, is actually first touching physical, then moving to holy, giving you a lot more damage instead. This happens in Seal of Command, this happens with Seal of Blood. So these two, working properly will definitely, result into a slight reduction into the DPS numbers, and by slight I mean quite a big reduction. So you need to be prepared for these. If you are a person who plays from private servers, looking forward to jump into Blizzard Classic, then you need to be prepared for that. And we are right now at the end of the video where I go off script. Thank you so much for checking the video out. I've been playing a red and prot for the past 7 years of my life on private servers, and right now even onto classic with the red dream and the protection dream. Going strong, going strong. So yeah, I would appreciate you if you would subscribe to the channel. If you would like the content that I do, please do so. And yeah, I would love to see you in the next videos. I cover all red, all prot science. Would love to see you soon, guys. All right, have a good one. Take care.